Hello everyone, welcome to this Bible quiz extra for Genesis chapter 2. In this podcast, we're going to be having 10 questions to quiz your knowledge on Genesis chapter 2. So let's get started. Number 1. Which river goes towards the east of Assyria? A. Pison, B. Euphrates, C. Hiddekel, and D. Gihon. You have 5 seconds. The answer is C. Hiddekel. This can be found in Genesis chapter 2, verse 14, where it says, "And the name of the third river is Hiddekel, that is it which goeth towards the east of Assyria, and the fourth river is Euphrates." Number 2. Which of these minerals could be found in Havilah? A. Palladium, B. Topaz, C. Jacinth, and D. Amethyst. You have 5 seconds. The answer is A. Palladium, and you can find this in Genesis chapter 2, verse 1. Number 3. Why did God put Adam in the Garden of Eden? A. To wait for rain to fall, B. To live there, C. To work there and keep it, D. To see the animals. You have 5 seconds. The answer is C. To work there and keep it. And you can find proof of this in Genesis chapter 2 verse 15, where it says, "And the Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it." Number 3. What would happen to Adam if he disobeyed God and ate of the forbidden fruit? Option A is he would have knowledge, B. He would die, C. He would not live long, D. He would have to be on his own. You have 5 seconds. The answer is B. He would die. You can find proof of this in Genesis chapter 2, verse 17. Number 5. Land animals and birds were created from what? A. Clay, B. Soil, D. Dust, and D. Ground. You have 5 seconds. The answer is D. The ground. And you can find proof of this in Genesis chapter 2, verse 19. Number 6. Adam's power to give names was restricted to only animals. Is this true or is it false? You have 5 seconds. The answer is B. This is false. His power to give names was not restricted to only animals. Number 7. Who was Adam's missing rib? A. An animal, B. Eve, C. His soul, and D. Breath of life. You have 5 seconds. The answer is B. Eve. And you can find proof of this in Genesis chapter 2, verse 21. Number 7. Which of these names did Adam use to call this animal? The animal has a cute face, it's furry, it has 2 ears, and it can bark. A. Shan, B. Allah, C. Kambure, and D. None of them. The answer is D. None of them. It is not known which language Adam spoke. However, there was no such language as French or English or other languages at the time. These languages came later. Since Adam was given the power to give names, we, his descendants, inherited from him the power to give names in our own languages. And you can see this in Genesis 2, verse 19. Number 8. And they both were naked, the man and his wife, and were not blank. A. Ashamed, B. Afraid, C. Defiled, D. Perishing. You have 5 seconds. The answer is A. Ashamed. They were both naked, but they were not ashamed. You can find proof of this in Genesis 2, verse 25. Number 10. Which river flowed around the whole of Havilah? A. The Nile River, B. Gihon, C. Euphrates, and D. Pison. You have 5 seconds. The answer is D. Pison. You can find this in Genesis 2 verse 11. It says, "The name of the first is Pison, that is, it which compasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold." That's it for the 10 questions extra for Genesis chapter 2 trivia. Make sure to stay tuned for the testimony of the day.